It may take some time for tariffs to work their way through the supply chain. Would you elaborate on this, including when is it that we can see negative impacts to inflation from Trump's tariff policy?
So, the things that are being sold at retail now, they might have been put into inventory before the tariffs in February or March. So we think we should start to see this over the summer, in the June numbers and in the July numbers. And if we don't, I think we're learning here. If we see less pass-through, there aren't historical experiences we can consult here, really. So it may turn out that the pass-through is less or more than we think. And I think we're going to be learning. We'll get a number for June. An inflation number for June. We'll learn something then. We'll get it for July as we go through the summer. We should start seeing this. And if we don't, I think we're perfectly open to the idea that the pass-through will be less than we think. And if so, that'll matter for our policy.
Well, I've been talking with a lot of my constituents about these tariffs. And the question that comes up is, now, is this going to only hurt maybe the big businesses? What about our small business people? What about the people that we buy goods and services from every day in our communities? Is this going to hurt big business as well as small business?
Yes, I don't think it's. I think it will certainly. If you're a smaller company that maybe imports a single product, that's a common business model these days. Then you may if your product is terrible,
drop an F.
You may
drop an F in the chat
significantly. Whereas bigger
Read the
companies
chat.
have more
Drop an F.
resources and a more diverse
Let me know.
product line.
Why do you think you can resist the president basically telling you what to do? What gives you that authority?
I don't think about it that way at all. I think I have a job that I'm sworn to do, and all I think of is how much people rely on us to get it right. It really matters that we get it right. And
what happens if you get it wrong, Jerome? Are there any repercussions to you? Like if you get it wrong over and over and over, do you just keep on going? I suspect so, huh? Where's the oversight? Not a lot of oversight with the Fed, is there? Yeah, not even the president can fire him. Who can? Can Congress? I doubt it.
that concentrates one's mind. And so that's what we think about at the Fed. We think about what's the right thing. I have all I want to do in what's left of my time at the Fed is have the economy be strong and have inflation be under control, have a solid labor market. I want to turn it over to my successor in that condition. Of course, that's what keeps me up at night, is to do that. And that's what I think about. That's the only thing I think about.
So how are you protected? By law, by Constitution? Where does your authority come from?
I think, I've covered all that. I do think we're fully protected.
The chair of the Fed answers to Congress,
and again,
mainly through testifying
I don't
hearings
think
and
about that
submitting
anymore. What I
reports.
think about is let's just
They're
do our
also
jobs.
accountable to the president,
And that's what we
who
do.
appoints them.
We don't talk
But
about
they
those
have a lot of
issues
independence.
at all. And all we do is do our jobs as best we can. And, it's
Quite a bit, actually. The Fed's designed to be independent from direct political pressure, so the chair can make decisions based on economic data, not short-term politics. But Congress can still pass laws affecting the Fed, and the president appoints its leaders, so there's some oversight.
Can the president fire the leaders if he can appoint them? Can't he? Does he have discretion to appoint someone else?
No, the president can't fire the Fed chair or other leaders once they're appointed. They serve 4-year terms and can be reappointed, but removal's only for cause, like if they break the law. The president can nominate someone new when a term ends or a vacancy opens, but it's not instant. Congress has to confirm the appointment.
Thanks, Grog.
You're welcome. Anything
It's
else on
not
your
an
mind?
easy job, but it's one we've willingly taken on, and very important that we remain focused just on the job and not on other things.
Thank you very much. I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields back. The chair recognizes the gentleman from New York, our vice chair for communications, Mr. Lawler. You're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Powell, as recently as yesterday, Fed Governor Bowman indicated.
Look, I know this is about as interesting as watching paint dry, but this is more impactful to our everyday lives than you could possibly imagine. These people decide how much loans cost, how much the interest rates are going to be, and how low of a risk threshold they're going to take, how much of a loan they're going to guarantee, how much backing from the federal government they're going to get. These people make gigantic financial decisions for every American all the time. This is stuff you should pay attention to. And I know you don't have time to pay attention to everything, neither do I. That's why I'm trying to just put a little bit
That
out.
if inflation pressures remain contained, the Fed should consider lowering rates. And said she is open to a rate cut in July. Governor Waller said very much the same. Do you believe that we are in a position where we may be able to cut rates in July?
So I would say this. I think if it turns out that inflation pressures do remain contained, then we will get to a place where we cut rates sooner rather than later. But I wouldn't want to say, I wouldn't want to point to a particular meeting. I don't think we need to be in any rush because the economy is still strong. The labor market is strong. If we were to see the labor market, meaningfully weaken in a way that was concerning, that would matter for that decision. But if we see inflation, continuing not to move up, we hadn't expected inflation to move up much. We do expect it to move in the summer, and if we see it not happening, we'll learn from that.
The September 2018 Teal book suggested that the Fed, seeing through tariffs' inflationary effects, is an appropriate response so long as inflation expectations are firmly anchored and that the pass-through costs are relatively short-lived. Would you agree that this assessment from the Teal book still applies to today?
I would. Those are the exact factors that we cite when we talk about this situation. Plus the size of the tariffs.
Right. So let's assess the current economic situation. The Monetary Policy Report states that longer-run inflation expectations, quote, continue to be broadly consistent with 2% inflation, unquote. And a Harvard study argued that despite the relatively quick price responses to tariff announcements, the overall magnitude of these changes remains modest. So if these conditions hold, is it not unreasonable to think that underlying inflation trends should continue its path towards 2%?
That's certainly a very defensible position. I think what others on the committee think, and what I think, is that this is a question we need to be careful with because it's different than it was in 2018. The difference is that we haven't had 2% inflation. In 2018, we hadn't had an inflation as high as 2% for a decade anymore. This is a different situation. We haven't fully restored price stability, and another shock. We have to be careful if there's a meaningfully large and sustained inflation shock. We have to be careful about that. And so,
you're telling me that there's no inflation right now?
I think we're just trying to be careful and cautious, and we really think that's the best thing we can do for the people that we serve. If that happens, we need to be there for it. And so, we're in a difficult situation in deciding exactly when to move. But again, if we continue to see inflation come in, and not prove up at the higher levels than we expect, then that would matter for our decision making.
Chairman Powell, economist John Taylor once noted that the Federal Reserve should deviate from its own Taylor rule in the event of an oil shock. Similar to the tariff scenario, a one-time price increase from an oil shock should not be accompanied with an increase in interest rates. Do you agree with that assessment?
I generally do, yes.
Previously, you said that if you wait for inflation to get back down to 2% to cut rates, you are already too late. You also said in November 2024 that inflation was on a sustainable path to 2%. Given that the FOMC believes that interest rates now are moderately restrictive and that an oil or tariff shock may not impact underlying inflation in a significant or meaningful way, because as the Monetary Policy Report established, inflation expectations are firmly anchored, what is the reason not to cut rates?
Well, it's uncertainty about the size and potential persistence of the potential but highly uncertain inflation from tariffs. By the way, we have five Taylor rules in the Monetary Policy Report. 4 of them say that the policy rate is in the right range, and the other one calls for a hike.
We literally have no tariff. We have no tariffs that are any higher than the tariffs that are placed on our goods. There are countries out there that put a 200% import tariff on our goods, and it's totally okay to do that to the USA, right? Well, yeah, because we've been doing it for so long, and when you do this to all these people for so long, then you can just step all over them. It's okay. No, it's bullcrap. Our leaders have been selling us out for decades, and now someone is saying we're not going to do it, and we're going to put tariffs on. So Powell is saying the uncertainty that tariffs are causing is why they're not going to increase or decrease the interest rate, the federal interest rate. Yeah, of course. He's blaming it on Trump. That's what he's doing. Let's see.
Why are they failing? You guys know why they're failing. Because they suck. They suck. That's why people are turning to podcasts. Guess what? Like this one, where everybody has different opinions, but we're giving you facts. We're fact checking in real time. Me and Adam go at it all the time. Tom and Adam go at it. Me and Pat, we don't agree with everything, and that's why this.
If I had a co-host, oh man, especially someone that was politically literate, someone that was plugged in, because I've been plugged in. I mean, I'm not as plugged in as I wish I was, right? I've been more plugged in. I've definitely been more plugged in to politics, but I try to stay up and abreast of the situation as I can, clearly. I mean, I don't know, I can't not. But yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, someone, this can get some sort of recommends or get someone to follow. Maybe someone will see this. What time is it? 9 o'clock in the morning. Maybe somehow, some way, this can hit fucking YouTube Live. Oh crap! Yeah, well, I've been live for a while now. How long have I been live? Yeah, a while. I can't even tell right now. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, 12 minutes. I've been live for 12 minutes. I dropped an F-bomb. That's pretty late on in the game. To be honest, what else do we got going on in the world? I ought to have some more browser pages open here. More pages open.
This shit is taking over, and people like CNN are losing, and they will not adjust. That's the worst thing. The ship keeps sinking, and they're like, bring on another captain. It doesn't matter. Your ship.
Yeah, your ship is sinking. Your name is garbage. If you work at CNN, it's a matter of time. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? They know that it's a sinking ship, but they're so ideologically captured that they can't get over it. Where's that Bill Maher? The Bill Maher and Sean Penn Trump clip.
Only reason I would not accept an invitation is because I see no it's a long flight. And I see no
really? You'll meet with fucking
I don't think
Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the President of the United States?
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things in terms of
You do realize
agendas that I
Democrat-
had. I don't think that there's anything that I would I just personally wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room, including the personality.
It's not a matter of trusting it. It's a matter of seeing it, a matter of experiencing, a matter of knowing it.
Yeah, it's an
More
interesting-
knowledge. It's like saying I don't want this medical test because I don't want to know.
The only reason I would not accept an invitation is because I see no it's a long flight. And I see no
Really? You'll meet with fucking
I don't think
Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the President of the United States?
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things in terms of
You do realize
agendas that
the
I
Democrat-
had. I don't think that there's anything that I would I just
Just
personally
knowledge.
wouldn't trust anything that was said in the room, including the personality.
It's not a matter of trusting it. It's a matter of seeing it, a matter of experiencing, a matter of knowing it.
Yeah, it's an
More
interesting-
knowledge. It's like saying, I don't want this medical test because I don't want to know.
Only reason I would not
I mean, just that is so closed-minded. You know what I mean? How can you close your head off like, oh, I can't even hear it. I couldn't even go into the room because his name's Trump. That's Trump derangement syndrome. It really is. There is a lot of TDS out there, and everyone knows it. Oh, well, come on. Trump derangement syndrome. This isn't even funny. Examples. Excuse me. I had a Dr. Pepper. It makes me a little burpy. I got a little burpy.
I'm terrified!
Old one.
Listen to me, Republicans! Listen! You are the people in history they warned us about! They warned us about people like you! Pay attention! We're losing our democracy! Wake up!
She seems lovely. I'll bet she's actually fun, but she's kind of had her brain broken by the media. Kind of like how people have had their brain broken recently over Israel. And now we've got this mass psychosis going on where all these people that were totally anti-war are like, well, maybe I'm okay with a little war. You know, as long as it's just, you know, it seems to be a good thing now. Look, on CNN, well, here, let's finish up with this. We'll catch up with that.
Wake up! Holy fucking shit, you guys! I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Fuck! Can this year get any fucking worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
That's crazy, dude.
Because I just want to purchase something for
Fuck off! You fuck off! Get the fuck off in here, man! Fuck, man! Fucking stay! Fucking get stand on racist motherfuckers!
Hold on! We're against Saudi Arabia, you dumbass! We talk about that all the time! We talk about that all the time! You don't know shit! What do you think, the lizard people are in charge? Is that what you think?
Now you're pissed. We're kicking your ass.
Is that what you think?
You're the anti-liberal and you're pissed.
Bullshit!
We're being nice here.
You just want attention.
I care about the American people!
Good. You're the one flipping out. Anybody heard of me about it? I'm not calling.
Everybody get the fuck off my stage! Get the fuck off my stage!
What the fuck? What a fucking cowardly little bitch. Yeah, get the fuck out. I'm right here. Did you spit in his face? Right here. Did you spit in his face? Right here. Did you spit in his face? So I'm asking you, did you spit in his face? Is that free? Okay, fine.
So like the onus is on everybody now to like actually step up. Like I don't want to hear, I'm scared to talk to my family because they're my family. Like, no, I get that. But you can't wait till people are burning or hanging from trees or being killed to say something. And so, you know, 2016 is the doo-dooest year in the history of my entire life.
Can you imagine living such a sheltered life that the year 2016 was like the worst year? God. Oh my God. FML. My life is over. Donald Trump was elected president, and now there will be lynchings in the street. It's just ridiculous. How many? You have to be told a lot of crazy shit by a lot of people that you must respect in order to come to these conclusions. These conclusions are radical ideas.
You know, I think what's helpful for me is I live in New York. I'm surrounded by like-minded people. People here are disgusted.
This is 2016, so like everyone was still leaving, but then a couple years later, everything was about to get a whole lot worse, and like they lost like 500,000 people left in the first half of 2020. Like they bounced, and then they just kept leaving because the draconian frickin' lockdown laws and vaccine law mandates. And I mean, de Blasio put sick people in the nursing homes. It was known that this is a upper respiratory disease that mostly affects the elderly, the immunocompromised, and the young. Not the young, just the elderly and the immunocompromised. So why did he knowingly and willingly, knowing both of those things, knowing that this is an upper respiratory disease that especially affects the elderly, so he got them after being told not to do that and having extra bed space in New York, in Central Park, he put these sick people into nursing homes with the elderly, and it spread like wildfire, killing off how many. Hey Grok, how many elderly people died in New York in 2020 from COVID? She's probably not even listening. She's been sitting there on mute. Yeah, man, it's crazy town. It's crazy. De Blasio knew full well. He had to know. He'd been told. He was in contact with CDC, the World Health, you name it.
We're not gonna take.
Grok's having a hard time connecting. He's probably under attack from an Iranian cyber attack right now. Really, I bet you X is under. Yeah, I wonder if there's a down outage. If anyone can go to the down outage site. Or a down detector. That's what I meant. Hey, Grok, how many elderly people died in New York from COVID in 2020? New York State.
Hey there. In 2020, around 15,000 long-term care residents in New York State died from COVID-19, many of whom were elderly. It's a tough number to hear, but that's what the reports say.
Do you think it is plausible that it could be directly attributed to the placement of COVID-19 patients into nursing homes by Mayor Bill de Blasio?
That's a tricky one. There's no direct evidence linking Mayor Bill de Blasio's decisions solely to those deaths. But the move to place COVID-19 patients in nursing homes in New York City back in 2020 did raise concerns. It likely contributed to some spread, especially since nursing homes already had vulnerable populations. But it wasn't the only factor. State policies and other challenges played a big role too. Data suggests over 9,000 recovering patients were sent to nursing homes statewide under a broader directive, which some say worsened outbreaks. But pinning it all on one person's choice is tough. What do you think?
Well, I think it was a directive given by Bill de Blasio to send those patients to the nursing homes. Am I correct?
Actually, the directive to send recovering COVID-19 patients to nursing homes came from the New York State Department of Health, not directly from Mayor Bill de Blasio. He was part of the city's response, but the state had the final say on that policy. Does that clear things up?
Yeah, was there a lack of beds? What was their decision-making process? Why did they do that? Did they not have a sufficient amount of beds for patients?
There was a huge shortage of hospital beds early on. especially in 2020, with New York becoming the pandemic's epicenter. So they needed to free up space. The state's decision was to send recovering COVID-19 patients to nursing homes to make room for critical cases, thinking those patients weren't contagious anymore. Their process relied on health data showing patients likely weren't infectious after hospital stays, but it backfired because nursing homes weren't always ready to handle the infections safely. They believed it was the best move at the time to save more lives, but it didn't turn out that way. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks. Let's finish this real quick.
I was just on the 405 and I got stuck in that stupid Trump rally and they fucking boxed me in and they're pointing at me and laughing at me saying ha ha, and literally I crashed because they wouldn't let me out. I was trying to go around it and they're literally, it was like they were all stopping and going. They boxed me in on the fucking freeway. All I wanted to do was go around and they were just being so I could have crashed. I could have fucking crashed. It was so dangerous. And I just don't understand why that's the country that y'all are supposedly wanting right now. Really? That's what makes America great? That's fucked up. I could have fucking died right now. That was so fucking dangerous.
But did you die?
And laughing at a Mexican.
But did you die?
I don't...
Listen, kiddo, I get it. I don't like the two-party system. I think our country's corrupt, and quite frankly, I don't want to vote for Biden. It feels like voting for a Republican. But I'm gonna do it! You wanna know why? Because the alternative is a fucking fascist! A fascist is a fascist! Maybe we can have the conversation about dismantling the two-party system when a fascist isn't running! Maybe we can do that later, kiddo! Champ! Chief! Maybe we can talk.
Isn't Trump pro-gun? Isn't he pro-Second Amendment? Fascism. Government and corporate control of the population. Government, corporate unity. How would they go about oppressing the people if the president is trying to open up and loosen firearms restrictions in the United States? We need to go after the NFL. Yeah, that's what we need to do. But let's go after the the Hearing Safety Protection Act. Hearing Protection Act. That's a good start. And then federal, national reciprocity would be good. But these are all things that he's, suggested. Do you think those are the tenets of a fascist? To arm the population that you intend to fascistically control with the boot? I wonder if it's like they don't teach critical thinking anymore. They just teach, topical thinking. It's like, seriously, only think this way. If you go outside the orthodoxy, you're a very bad person. For real, it's just crazy town. I don't get it.
Talk about it later!
Animal.
Okay, here's where we're at.
Leave the store.
Here's where you're at.
Leave the store.
Here's
Leave
where-
the store.
here's where
Leave
we're at,
the
dude.
store. Fuck off. I don't give a fuck. Get out. Dude.
Go ahead, take another swing at it. Make contact with me one more time. I'm gonna make a deal with you. I want to purchase that vape juice.
No.
If you sell it to me, I won't. If you sell it to me, I won't. Look, if you sell it to me, I won't call the police. What you did was assaulted me. What I need is that for my wife. If you sell it to me, I won't call the fucking cops and press charges on you for assault. I won't call corporate and get you fired. Just sell me the fucking product so I can leave.
What do you want?
Naked in the strawberry in a fucking 6 milligram.
Where do you see naked?
Right here, this shit. Where is it?
Where
this?
the fuck do you see
right there. Here, right next to that. In a 6 milligram. Make sure it's a 6 milligram so I don't have to come back.
No, you're not fucking coming back to my store, homie. I'm making sure of that. Fuck out of here, dude. Fuck.
God bless America. Capitalism wins again.
fuck your capitalism, fuck your fucking president. He's a racist, stupid.
As he's this patron is going in and getting a service done by this guy. He's buying items through capitalism, through fair trade of tender, legal tender for product. This is capitalism. He wouldn't pay more if the bottle was paid or would cost $50 or $500. He wouldn't buy it. He'd go somewhere else where it cost a reasonable amount. Capitalism wins again. The market chooses what the prices should be because ain't no one going to pay too much for something that it ain't worth.
Piece of shit. You're a racist.
Just ring the shit up.
Stupid piece of shit.
Just ring the shit up.
It used to be just, we called these people autistic. You know, I'm a little on the spectrum, of course. I've been diagnosed even by a medical professional. You know, they've said, I've been told over the years that I'm not exactly not on the spectrum, but it's a big spectrum. So, you know, I guess I lucked out in all the good parts. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Fuck off! Do my bidding.
Do my bidding. Man, fucking get out!
Sell it to me. No. Sell it to me. Sell it to me, punk. It's your job, your freedom. Sell me the shit.
Fuck it, you can be.
No. Sell it to me. Sell it to me.
Fuck off.
Come on.
Okay, yeah. Have you guys ever watched Solar News? You should watch this. Okay, I should actually just be doing, these are a few things that you need to know. So, welcome. My name's Joel. I'm just kidding. This is my channel. I'm trying to upload at least once or twice a day. We'll do kind of news in the morning, blurbs of things that you need to know and why you need to know them. Make them real quick. Probably keep this under 10 minutes. Did you know that every day we do a solar weather forecast, and we're going to watch it. I watch it every day. Here's the solar forecast. I'll try to do a little explanation if you don't get it, and you probably understand. It's all really straightforward, and this guy's great.
Good morning, folks. Welcome, observers. Today, I'll be reminding you why it's a good thing I have hyperthymesia and never forget things. Gonna embarrass a scientist or two. We'll also see an interesting piece on Earth's core, check in on the hurricane, but we are starting with the last 24 hours on our star. Things went pretty quiet pretty fast, following...
But look at that solar hole. Look at that. My hell.
The X-class flare we reported yesterday, the sun has done virtually nothing. No significant flares or eruptions, but plenty to watch, and the watch level is in fact rising. We still have sunspots even as the northern group begins to depart. The southern group is a touch of instability away from flaring sequences in its own right. Got eyes there, especially at the umbral motion level. We still have lots of plasma filaments, and in this view here, can also see the next coronal hole coming, trans-equatorial at the left side, coming into face Earth late this weekend and early next week. Even without flares or eruptions whatsoever, we're going to have solar wind amplification on deck from that one. Heading next to the tropics, where Eric got its big boy pants right before landfall. No reports yet, as impact is ongoing this morning, but the mid-level water vapor suggests it is delivering quite the pounding right now. Prayers for those in the affected area.
Tropical storm, Eric? Or is it a hurricane?
Odd one up next, the Earth's core, solid but liquidy at the same time. While definitively being classified as a solid material, it still flows. Under immense pressure, the crystal alignment allows for the solid structure, and yet allows it to flow like water in the depths and chemical heterogeneity. Very cool. But today's top story, great observation, bad explanation. You may have heard about this one online yesterday. The oxygen levels of the atmosphere go up and down with the field strength, meaning that during pole shifts and geomagnetic excursions and reversals, there is a drop of oxygen in the atmosphere. Now, the paper says they think that, well, the field and the oxygen levels must be tied together based on something happening in the crust. And, well, yeah, I do think something pretty terrible is going to happen to the crust here in the pole shift we're enduring now when it peaks in the next 20 years. But this is not a new correlation. It was discovered over a decade ago, and that time they appropriately blamed the weaker magnetic field, allowing solar wind to eat away at the atmosphere. Don't forget, this is what they think happened to Mars, and I guess they just forgot about that for the paper that came out this week. But with more data and only half of it accurate, I'm especially thankful right now that GoldObservers.com is sponsoring our documentary on this exact topic, on this exact thing happening again right now. It's been a few thousand years, but we're due in time, and it's already started happening again. GoldObservers.com is the lead sponsor of the film, and we've all been waiting for this one. From the cycle to the ongoing pole shift and loss of Earth's field to the danger it presents to life on this planet and the great solar flash that geologic data suggests occurs at the very same time. I'm going to be perfectly honest, you should be way past prepping food and water and seeds by now, folks. You should be filling in the blanks. And for metals, that's GoldObservers.com. We greatly appreciate your support. We'll do this all again tomorrow. Right here, but right now it's 5:45 a.m. in the new Valley of the Sun. Eyes open, no feet.
So there's some news about the solar storms and everything coming in. Seems like it's going to be a pretty calm day. A little bit about earthquakes and such going on. I mean, this is kind of a large. They give you quite the data set. There is some other ones that do even more. Let's watch. Oh, well, what do we got? Well, it looks like the ceasefire's over. Let's see.
Now, as we go to air tonight, the ceasefire in the Middle East is set to collapse after a shocking violation by Iran. Just hours after agreeing to a ceasefire, Iran fired missiles into residential areas in northern Israel. This occurred at 5:35 p.m. our time, just 2.5 hours ago, and it was Tuesday morning in Israel. Israelis were just beginning to relax, with the ceasefire supposedly taking effect when sirens sounded across the north, as you can see. This is inexcusable. It's a clear violation of the ceasefire, and Iran won't be allowed to get away with this. The IDF's Chief of the General Staff, E.L. Zamir, said in a statement tonight, in light of the severe violation of the ceasefire carried out by the Iranian regime, we will respond with force. And Israel's Defense Minister, Israel Katz, says Jerusalem will respond forcefully in the heart of Tehran. He said this is a ceasefire violation. So all this is unfolding right now as we're going to air. We'll keep bringing you the developments as they happen. And President Donald Trump might address the media as he boards his flight to NATO. He's scheduled to do so this hour. And when he does, we'll bring that straight to you live. Now, thankfully, both of the missiles fired into northern Israel that were in breach of the ceasefire were intercepted. But earlier today, Tehran targeted the residential area of Beersheba yet again with a series of missiles that have now killed 4 Israelis.
That's their MO. You know what I mean? Straight up. Frickin' target civilians. Seems to be working for them real well, doesn't it? Is it working real well? Oh, I don't think so. Audio? Should be. Getting a little too loud. Check 1, 2. Yep. Anyways, that's everything just looks terrible to me. It looks real bad. Bad news. I need to turn this volume down on my headphones. Yeah, that's better. How's that sound, everybody? Good. Good. Well, yeah, this is all just not good. Hopefully, I'm looking for the most, up-to-date news. I want to see like the most current, what's going on. I mean, I guess if we want to see what's really going on, we go to x.com. Go in and see what's actually going on. UK must actively prepare for a war on home soil, major government review warns. The independent Iranian sleeper cells. Great. The insider paper. I guess that must be an English publication. Jasmine Crockett says she's supposed to be the one to make the fucking decision to bomb Iran. She's supposed to be the one.
And to understand enough about the Constitution to the extent that I'm the one that's supposed to make the fucking decision or at least get a vote. Because Ron is telling me. Right. So literally, like, and to understand enough about the Constitution to the extent that.
Whatever. Let's see what's going on, actually. We'll go following. President Trump on Spain's refusal to allocate 5% of its GDP to defense.
You said a couple days ago that you didn't think the U.S. should have to agree to the 5% increase in GDP on defense.
I was the one that said that's what they should be paying, as you know. No, I should do something. And they're having a problem with Spain. They're always a problem with Spain. Because Spain's not agreeing, which is very unfair to the rest of them, frankly.
It is. You know, socialized medical care in all these European nations and in Canada and all these other places. It's straight up subsidized by America. We subsidize your health care by us having a huge military to defend your free shipping ports. We don't charge you. We keep the oceans free and clear for everybody to do everything, and we could even start charging people like, hey, you know, it's a real nice ship you got there. It'd be real tragic if the U.S. wasn't there to defend it one day going through the Strait of Hormuz, eh? You know what I mean? And a lot of people will get shut down. Oh, here's Trump on.
Do you want to see regime change in Iran?
No. If there was, there was. But no, I don't want it. I'd like to see everything calm down as quickly as possible. Regime change takes chaos. And ideally, we don't want to see so much chaos. So we'll see how it does. You know, the Iranians are very good traders, very good business people. And they got a lot of oil. They should be fine. They should be able to rebuild and do a good job. They're never going to have nuclear, but other than that, they should do a great job.
Do you want to see regime change?
He's right. He's totally right. Like, they're sitting on an ocean of oil. Their fuel is like 14 cents a gallon or a liter or whatever they divvy it out at. But damn. The cradle. Harvard study finds Israel disappeared nearly 400,000 Palestinians in Gaza, half of them children. What is it? What do they mean by disappeared? Dropped leaflets weeks in advance, went through and you know, opened up paths for them to evacuate, and yeah, you know, every year up until that the attack by Hamas, every year up until then, Israel supplied 80% of the water in Gaza. Did you know that they sent 60,000 truckloads of stuff, food, clothing, you name it, everything over there for free? The gasoline, all the gasoline that they got to Gaza that they used for their trucks, Israel gave it to them. All of it. Because no one else would. Egypt washed their hands. Egypt didn't want nothing to do with Gaza or Palestine. Neither did Jordan, neither did Syria or Libya or anyone. Neither did Iran or Iraq. They just said, nope. We opened up our prisons and forced all these people. I guess they didn't, but it's been kind of a thing since where, you know, they won't let the people from Gaza evacuate into their country because they don't want them. They never did. And why? Because if they stay there, they're a thorn in the side of Israel. And that's the idea, to harass Israel into getting until the caliphate ends. Yeah. But yeah, it's a crazy town. Hey, Mo, Larry, and Curly, yeah, no shit. Look at that. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. What else is going on? Let's see. Ceasefire strained by mutual accusations.
Ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Damn. Whoa. With the F-bomb. Holy smokes, everybody. They pissed the president right the F off. He dropped the F-bomb, but don't know what the F they're doing. Holy cow. That is major, major news right there. And I can't believe it. Let's see what was there a Benny Johnson? Yeah, let's see.
Do you believe that Iran...
Let's watch it again.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I get it. I understand it. Boy, oh boy, I get it, Mr. President. He's pissed. He's pissed. He's trying to broker a peace. He's trying to broker a peace and take away Iran's cards so that the peace is easier. You know what I mean? He has the capability of not just he can play his cards. That's what he has the capability to do. And the cards just so happen to be the strike force of the United States of America, which is unprecedented and far-reaching. So if Iran had a card on the table that they had to count on and we had to worry about, we could deny them that card. And that seems to be what we did. So, you know, I gotta hand it to him. He's not stupid, but I'd be pissed off too. In fact, I kind of am pissed off if we said we're going to go, you know, peace now. We're going to, like, there needs to be a regime change. I'm hoping Israel will go through there. I'm hoping Israel will go through there and totally just harass the military and command and control structure, all the people, and keep their heads down so hard and so far with Mossad's excellent intel. I believe they can go in there and surgically remove the military and radical Islamic wing of the government and the military. I do, and I think that if they were to stand up, if all those that were not quite so loyal to the Islamic Guard were to stand up now and do the thing that they needed to do to save their nation and create a more just, a better country for themselves and for everyone, for men, women, children, all people in the Middle East, Iran, and all people in the world. If they started now, they could win the hearts and minds of America, which really matters, because we will start sending all kinds of aid just as individuals, let alone the government, and that's when the money starts flowing. But for real, hopefully this can be the nucleation point to where a new nation can grow out of the ashes of an Islamic jihadi, Islamic fundamentalist state. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow for more, everybody. I'll probably come on later and do some sort of reaction video or something. These are a lot of the things that you need to know in a day. Couple other things, but you'll manage, and maybe you'll pick a thing up throughout the day. Follow me on TikTok at Just Kidding. Follow me on X at Kennington Joel. And I hope you have a beautiful day.